What's up guys, D-Fresh here coming at you with another video. This is going to be part 2 for the Small World Heavenly Dragon Circle discussion. This is just kind of wrap up my ideas around both cards. We're going to do some applications of both cards on Dueling Book, and I'll show you kind of why people are considering both cards and which one I think is better. And then yeah, from there you can choose which one you want to play if you want to play either of them. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Application of Small World is being able to pretty much fix your weird hands. So yeah, obviously this is a weird hand, and the deck can definitely make some weird hands. So Small World actually works really well in turning monsters into pretty much any other monster. So this is just an example of that. You can see Small World turn Driver into Ashna into Moye, and then from there you're able to do the combo. Pretty standard. So that's like the first application. It's very useful, and it can definitely help you play the game when you could not otherwise play the game. So yeah. So the second application of Small World kind of piggybacks off of the first one, and this is when you already have like something to start your combos, and you want to make Barone before you commit to your normal summon. So yeah, let's see what that looks like. Pretty much do the same play, but instead of searching Moye, you'll search your Longyuan. Then use the Longyuan effect, make your token, and go into the Barone. Obviously you'll burn for 12, and then you normal summon your starter, and then you do your combo. So this is obviously another like really useful thing to help you play around hand traps that they could have, because obviously Barone is pretty strong, and having this part of your end board is just pretty strong in general. If they don't hand trap you, then just having this is really solid. So yeah, another good application of Small World in the deck. Okay, so the last application I want to talk about for Small World is being able to, at the end of your turn, if you have like extra worms in your hand, then you can turn them into hand traps. So basically you just kind of go through, do your full combo, make your Barone, do your normal summon effect, get your draw and your search, and then you just kind of have this extra worm at the end of the turn. You can reveal it, turn it into a Longyuan, which can turn it into an Ash Blossom. Which this can be pretty helpful, because some of your hands, if you are playing the heavier like Tenyi build and you're maxing out on all the Tenyis, this can be really good, turning in the extra Tenyis into something like an Ash Blossom at the end of the turn, which can be that one extra interruption that allows you to stop your opponent from breaking your board or playing the game, essentially. So yeah, that's like the last upside application I want to talk about for Small World. Okay, so moving on to Heavenly Dragon Circle, let's just take a look at the first kind of huge application. Obviously it can play through like floodgates, and it can help you dodge things like Veiler, Impermanence, and Droplet. We're gonna go over the dodging hand traps thing first, so let's just kind of see what that looks like. You just start with your normal summon, and then if they Veiler or Imperm here, you just chain the Heavenly Dragon Circle, tributing the Moye for cost. You grab Shathana, and then the Moye will still resolve, because the target for Veiler or Imperm is no longer on the field. So yeah. And then from here you just special the Shathana, and you're able to still just do the combo. So yeah, this is the big like first application of the card. Obviously it's really good, being able to just dodge things. Okay, now let's talk about how Heavenly Dragon Circle can push through these pesky floodgates. So yeah, you pretty much just do the same thing as you did when you're dodging, you know, Valor and Imperm, except you want to grab Vishuda because Vishuda is going to bounce the floodgate, so you don't have to worry about it. And then from there, you're just free to combo. Okay, so the last major thing I want to talk about when it comes to Heavenly Dragon Circle is the follow-up. It is so incredible, and you're not using very many resources to activate the card. Like, it's not like Small World where you have to, you know, use other cards in your hand to be able to get the full advantage of it. And I'll go ahead and showcase that in this scenario right here. So if you have Blackout with it, this is just an example. Obviously, it's good follow-up either way, but if you have Blackout with it, you're able to activate the Blackout and target like a monkey you control, and then chain the Heavenly Dragon Circle, tributing the monk for cost, and then using the Blackout, you know, to pop 2 of their cards while getting your search. And the craziest part is, on top of that, on your following turn, you're able to banish the Dragon Circle and search any Tenyi monster, which is really good. Like, the card gets you 2 searches essentially, and it feels like it doesn't use near as many resources as Small World. So that's another huge reason why the Dragon Circle is probably more preferable than the Small World. Okay, so let's talk about the cons of both cards. So when it comes to Small World specifically, the card doesn't really help you in terms of flexibility. When it comes to their interruptions or floodgates, you can't really play around, you know, like there can be only one with Small World. You can like to get a hand trap or vice versa, to change a hand trap to a worm. If you normal summon a hand trap and then, you know, just have the worm to go into something that can out the back row, it's just a much more niche scenario. So that's the first like big downside to Small World. And the second major downside to Small World is that it limits your resources and there's not near as much follow-up with it. Also, they both kind of have the downfall of them being hard once per turn, which, I mean, that's most cards in the game, as it should be. But yeah, that's Small World. Moving on to the Dragon Circle, probably the only real downside is you don't have the flexibility to turn something into a hand trap, and it's also the once per turn. But overall, I think it's pretty clear that the Heavenly Dragon Circle does outdo the Small World because of how much more it does and how much more it gets you on your following turn.